Hey mamas, you are listening to the Motherhood is Ghetto podcast. We all know motherhood can be a beautiful thing, but girl, it can also be ghetto. Join me as we discuss some of the best and worst parts of being a mom raising kids, all while trying to figure out this thing called life. This ghetto is a safe space, mamas. So welcome to the hood. Hey mamas, welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and how y'all doing out there? If y'all doing all right, you already know what to say. Say amen. I pray you are having a great day and a great week so far. And so far this week is okay. It's just okay. Um Baby girl got back from her college tour trip and I missed her every day that she was gone. But I'm glad that she's back and she had a really great time. They had a very like robust schedule and everything was planned out super cool for them. So when they got there like to California, like their first stop was like two colleges. So they went to their first two colleges the first day they got there. They got to go to the beach. They got to do Dave and Buster's. And then like the next day they went to two more colleges. And then their last day there, they went to a couple other colleges. So she got to see like what college life is all about, walk the campus, find out about different programs, tuition and stuff like that. And, even though right now she's a freshman, like she's finishing up her freshman year and about to be a sophomore in the fall. I honestly don't think it's ever too early to, start looking and because it's her future. So I'm really proud of her that she decided to do that. And without anything from me, like that was something she came to me with and was like, I want to do this and see what's out there. So I was like, you know what? Bet we can do that. I can make that happen for you. So super proud of her and I'm glad that she did that. Um, but other than that, y'all, I'm just chilling and I'm happy to be here with you guys today. And today's topic, amen, is very, very important. We're going to talk about this heart, this thing that beats inside of our chest cavity. We're going to be talking about our hearts and specifically heart health. When it comes to women, when it comes to Black women, some things that contribute to heart disease in women and in Black women, and also too some things we can do to help our hearts, to protect our hearts. I've really been thinking about this a lot and I've been doing research on it and looking up different things about heart disease and heart health in women. And I feel like it's an important topic because heart disease is out here taking us out. Like for real. And you already know I done brought information and statistics to go over with you guys. So this is not a drill. This is not a game. But also too, I've been researching and looking into this a lot recently because I did not share with you guys yet, but my dad passed away from heart disease and we didn't even know he had heart disease. Actually, I don't know if he knew or what, but I know that we didn't know. And my mom currently has a heart condition that she's dealing with. So, of course, after, everything happened with my dad, like that prompted me to be like, well, let me look into this because, I need to make sure my heart's okay and what this actually is and what the effects are, and how it can affect me. It led me down and on this quest to find out more information about heart disease in general, but also to how it affects women and especially Black women, Black mothers. Amen. Specifically, like I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me, I'm talking to any Black mother out there that is listening. It is taking us out at alarming rates. So let's talk about it today. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it is. what are some of the risk factors that make you or that could make you prone to heart disease? And then also let's talk about some ways that we can defend against it and we can help ourselves. Amen. Because we need to be here for these babies. We need to be here for these kids. I know Drake says we're here for a good time, not a long time, but I'm here for a long time. I'm trying to be here for a long time. Amen. I'm trying to have a good time at the same time as I'm being here a long time. So, yeah, and that's super important to me. I need to be here, you know, as long as the Lord will allow me to be here to see my kids, do their big ones and grow up and be adults and have children of their own. Like I need to see all that. So I'm doing my best and my due diligence to be here for that. So this is what we're gonna be talking about today, mamas. So just sit back, relax. We're gonna get into it right now. Okay, mamas. So first, you already know, I want to hit you with the facts and statistics before we dive in because I want you guys to understand and be aware of what it is, what it's not, and all that good stuff. So, first off, what heart disease is an umbrella term for various conditions affecting the heart structure and function, with coronary artery disease, a plaque-driven blockage of arteries, being the most common type. These conditions can lead to serious events like heart attacks, heart failure, and arrhythmias. Key aspects of heart disease. Types. Major types include coronary artery disease, arrhythmias, which are irregular heartbeats, structural heart valve diseases, cardiomyopathy, heart muscle disease, and congenital heart defects. The primary cause is atherosclerosis, where plaque builds up in the arteries, restricting blood flow and oxygen to the heart. Common symptoms are chest pain or discomfort, shortness of breath, dizziness, fatigue, pain in the neck, jaw, or back. Risk factors include high blood pressure, high cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, obesity, physical inactivity, and unhealthy diet. And for prevention and treatment, many forms are preventable through lifestyle changes, exercise, healthy diet, quitting smoking, and can be managed with medication or procedures, so like heart stents, bypass surgery, to improve blood flow and heart function. So that's a little bit about what heart disease is. And again, it's an umbrella. So there can be several conditions linked to your heart that could fall under that umbrella of heart disease, but that's what it is in a nutshell. So let's go over some facts about heart disease in women. So heart disease is the leading cause of death for women. Do you hear me? Like, it's the leading cause of death for women. It is taking us out. That's crazy. That is crazy. And I highlighted it when I was reading off of Google, but the contributing factors, there's three and I was doing my research and it's the same for all women, white, brown, black, green, yellow. The top contributing factors are stress, blood pressure, and weight. So those are the big three when it comes to the potential of us having heart disease later on in life. So those are things like, and especially the stress part, mamas, like I know that we have a lot on our plates. I'm one of those moms where like stress is very prevalent in my life and things just happen to where like it makes me stress. And we are human at the end of the day, and stress is going to affect us in some way, shape, or form. But it is up to us on how we deal with that stress, how we manage it, how we carry it. Amen. Um, because a part of the stress element is that we feel like we have to carry everything on our own. especially moms, especially if you're doing this on your own. Sometimes even if you're not doing it on your own, like if you don't have a support system, like or a partner who supports you and helps you to kind of cope with the everyday stressors, that's a problem too. So we have to do what we got to do, mamas, to make sure that we're mitigating that stress, um, and just taking care of ourselves. And then also too with high blood pressure, which is brought on by stress. Like, so we're already losing an uphill battle. So, um, yeah, and then with that, with stress and blood pressure, high blood pressure, comes weight gain, comes obesity, like all those things work hand in hand. And you better be sure as shit, like your body is taking score. Like your body is keeping a tally of everything that you put it through. And one day it's going to reach whatever points that it needs to reach. And it's going to be like, okay, it's time to clock out. And we don't want that, mamas. We do not want that. I don't want that. I don't want it for me. I don't want it for you. So let's get into some of the facts around women's heart health, and specifically when it comes to Black moms, Black women. And this can also, this also could pertain to other races, but this article that I was reading specifically about Black women, because I'm a Black woman, amen, out here, trying to make sure I'm protecting my heart. So I wanted to share some of the stuff that I found with you guys. So hopefully it resonates with anyone who's listening. But when it comes to heart health and when it comes to heart disease, more than half of Black women are living with cardiovascular disease right now, to the tune of 59% of Black women. That's over half of the Black women in the United States are living with some form of cardiovascular heart disease. And every year it claims the life of nearly 50,000 Black women. That's 50,000 Black women wiped off the face of the earth every year because of this disease. And over 57% of Black women have some form of obesity or hypertension, aka blood pressure, and only 25% of those women have it under control. Like they're managing their weight, like they're managing their blood pressure. So it's definitely a disproportionate amount of Black women who are suffering from this versus the ones who are suffering and actually addressing the issues and managing it and getting it taken care of. Like those numbers are scary, y'all. Like that's scary. And I think I'm gonna say it again, like it's just important like to shed light on this type of stuff because as moms, like we carry so much. The load for us is much more heavy, let alone just being a woman in America, any race. Being a woman, being a Black woman in America, if you fit under that category. Now add the layer of, financial stress, having to work 10 times harder than your male counterpart in order to get the pay you deserve. Things like that. And then add on to that running a household, like taking care of children, managing finances, like keeping things running, keeping everyone feeling good, feeling happy, fed, well taken care of. Then add another layer on top of that where you're managing relationships. You may be in a relationship with a spouse or a partner and you may be carrying emotional weight on you, carrying the emotional weight of your children, carrying the emotional weight of your partner, and especially if you're in a relationship that doesn't serve you and you're emotionally having to give and the other person's giving nothing, that is not good either, and that contributes to the weight that's already on us. There's so many layers on us as women, and there's additional layers on us as Black women. Just being here in America and being Black, raising Black kids and trying to navigate this world as a Black woman, like it's tough. and it weighs heavy. It's heavy stuff. So I think that it would be naive of us to think that all that wouldn't affect us and especially our hearts. Um, so we got to get a handle on it. Like we got to get a grip on it because like I said, this stuff taking us out. And if I had a choice and I had to go, like I don't want to go like this. I don't. So let's do what we can, mamas, but let's keep going. Let's unpack this a little bit further. And also what I found is that Black women are more likely to die from heart disease at younger ages than white women counterparts or anyone else. We are the ones that are dying the most from this. And that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment so we can kind of just take that in. Okay, let's keep going. So, the main thing that's affecting our hearts in general, is stress, y'all. Stress is what's affecting our hearts the most. I want to read you guys some things that some things that I found when I was researching how stress plays a part in how chronic stress plays a part in heart disease and heart health in women. Chronic stress plays a major role in heart health along with diet and exercise. Your body also responds to what you carry emotionally. So where there's a lot of stress comes a lot of emotion, and our body is responding to it in kind. When stress hormones stay elevated for too long, they can raise blood pressure and strain the heart. You know what? Pause for the cause really quick on that. So the other day, I was at one of my doctor's appointments and I was waiting in the lobby, scrolling through my phone, looking up stuff. And then I had got a thought that worried me. And the sheer thought of what I was looking at worried me so much that I raised my own blood pressure. Like I know that before I left to my doctor's appointment, my blood pressure was fine because I have a blood pressure cuff, and I check my blood pressure before I go to the doctor. So that way I can see like what my number is versus their number. So I can see like if I need a new cuff or something like that, or if mine ain't doing right. So I know before I left, like my blood pressure was fine. Like I felt fine. But when I saw what I saw and like I got myself worried, I could physically feel my blood pressure raising. Like I could physically feel it and I was like, "Oh no." Like, "Oh my God." So I'm trying to like calm myself down. I'm trying to deep breathe, but like literally, like you could do it to yourself. I know like we like to joke and play like and say like, people be raising our blood pressure and stuff, kids raising our blood pressure, and they just might be. But we can also raise our own. And when I got to the back and they checked my blood pressure, like sure as shit, like it was high. And I was like, oh my God, like I can't believe I did that. Like I can't believe I did that. So definitely like stress, and I know like it's easier said than done. Like I could tell you like to go in a corner and kumbaya and deep breathe and listen to soothing music and all that stuff. But I really feel like when it comes to stress, you have to find something that works for you that will help you to relieve or um kind of like calm that stress, because it's not going to look the same for everyone. The way that I deal with my stress and manage my stress may not look like the next woman's plan to reduce their stress. Like it may not look the same, but we got to do something. We got to do something, even if it means like we schedule and block out time to decompress and release and rest, like all that stuff, then that's just what we have to do. And especially with the carving out time part of it. And that's something that like someone told me, and I'm like, you know what? Like, you're right. Like, I like the way that I carve out time and plan for everything else, I can carve out time and plan for rest and just to simply be and to relax. So, Like, we have to be the ones to do this. Like, no one can make us or force us. But what can make us and force us is something like this, where our bodies have gotten to the point where they just can't take it anymore or take enough of it anymore, and our bodies clock out on us. So now we're having to stay in the bed. We're having to stay in the hospitals because our body just it couldn't take anymore. Also, too, what I wrote down when I was just kind of researching, I wrote this down just as like a thought. I said we got to reevaluate why we keep pushing when our bodies tell us to stop. That's a word. That's a bar. Like, like we gotta reevaluate why we go so hard. Like, what is it for? Is it really all for the kids? Is it really all for the family, for the house? Like, why are we pushing ourselves to the point of exhaustion? Um, to the point of like pain? Like, what is it? And is it even worth it at the end of the day? Is it worth it? Is it worth all this? What are we talking about? And I feel like it's important for us to reevaluate like our priorities and what matters because we could be out here pushing ourselves and going hard for something or someone that never deserved it in the first place. We're pushing and going hard for things that will bear no fruit. We think that we're planting seeds, but all the while the soil like wasn't fertile, is dry, it's no good. But here we are just, pushing ourselves to our limits and it wasn't even worth it to begin with. So we really need to reevaluate what's important to us and what things that we are willing and we should be, giving our all to and focusing our intentions on. Because a lot of it, y'all, like it ain't worth it. Like when you step back and look at the bigger picture, and you can even go as far to do like a brainstorm tree and list all the things that like you really push yourself to the max on and go hard for. And when you start asking yourself why and what are the rewards, what are the risks, I'm sure that the risk is going to outweigh the reward and you're going to be left feeling like I don't even know, like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I hurting myself, neglecting myself? So I wrote that down as a thought, like as I was going through the information. And then I also wrote down, we need to reevaluate why we keep showing up how we have been. Like women, like when someone puts out the call, like it's women who are first to come to the front and center when it comes to community, when it comes to, helping neighbors, when disasters happen, women are at the forefront, ready to help, ready to assist however they can. So, and that's a beautiful thing. Like that's a great thing. Um, so I think it's important that we take stock of who we show up for and why, and then also to take stock of like when we should know like when okay we got to show up, we got to do this, and when we shouldn't show up, when it's not going to serve me or the people that I'm helping or showing up for, because it has to work two ways. I can't just drain and deplete myself for people who, like it's not worth it for. And if I'm not feeling fulfilled and if I'm not feeling poured into at the end of it all, then I don't feel like that's something I want to participate in. And I think that we should be more careful when it comes to how we show up for folks and the things that we do and the way that the energy that we expel on these type of things because it could be adding more stress to our life. It could be adding more, more heaviness that our body is just eating up. It's taking the emotional tolls that showing up for people can take, and our body's just taking stock of it all and banking it, just banking it. So We gotta look at that. And one thing that I read about too, it says Black mothers are navigating layered stress, emotional labor, caregiving, financial pressure, systemic stress, and the expectation to always be strong. This is what we're up against, mamas. This is what we're up against. And looking at the scoreboard, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for us because we have like all these extra layers on us. Like I said, like it's not enough to be a woman in America. Like we got a whole list of things that are up against us. So we got to protect us. Like we got to protect ourselves and we got to protect our hearts. So, which brings me to how we can protect our hearts. Amen. And I'm excited to go over these things with you. So, the first one is safe relationships. Come on. Amen. People that make you feel safe, make you feel loved, that you don't have to put a whole bunch of extra effort into and not get anything back. So that's like your partners, your friends, the community around you, um, work relationships, like all that ties into safe relationships. Because just to give an example, if you have, your husband or your wife and they're always emotionally unavailable for you, anytime you have a bad day and you just want to come home and talk it out, they're emotionally unavailable. They're got their heads in their phone. They're halfway listening as you're talking, like they get up to do other things. They walk in another room and then they shout from the other, "Oh, I'm listening, I'm listening." Like, I don't know. I don't think you are. Cause yeah, I need you to be locked in with me. Like I'm sharing my emotions with you. So I need someone who's going to be emotionally available for that. But that's just an example. Um, so safe relationships are clutch when it comes to taking care of our heart and minimizing the load and the emotional stress that we carry day to day. Another one is honest conversations. Um, if you know that you haven't been to the doctor in years, like be honest about that and do something about it. If you've been having like the heart palpitations, the shortness of breath, like pain in your chest, and you've just been kind of ignoring it and not telling anyone about it, like stop it. Stop doing that. And I know for me, like what kicked it up for me is because like sometimes like I have like little heart palpitations and then like of course like I'm thinking about my dad and thinking about my mom and I'm like I wonder like if there was any times where they had it and they didn't say anything or they kind of just shrugged it off. I was like, yeah, no. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the doctor and I'm gonna ask like for my doctor like to give me like a full like refer me to a cardiologist so I can do all the heart tests and stuff and see what's going on in there because and it's not out of fear, right? It's out of the fact that I really do want to take care of myself on the inside and the outside. So it's not just, me making sure that I physically look good or anything like that. Like it's really on the inside too, because I do consider myself an active mom and I want to continue to be an active mom. Like if my daughter, wants to go outside and wants me to help her, practice volleyball and stuff, like I want to be able to do that. And, and my son, he always asks me like if I want to come to the basketball court with him to shoot around with him, guard him, see if he can get a shot up over me, which he always does 'cause he's taller than me. Um, but I want to be able to do that stuff. Like I want to go on walks, like I want to go on hikes and, be like active without being short of breath or like my chest hurting or anything like that. So I'm doing my due diligence and being honest with myself. So when things come up and things that don't feel right to me, then I go see about it. And when I say honest conversations too, like not just you, like the people you care about. Like like, if you have, like, a group of friends, a group of girlfriends, your parents or anything like that, and they're kinda telling you things and they're just ignoring it, like, encourage them. Have those tough conversations and say, "Hey, like, you need to get that checked out. How can I help you, like, set up an appointment today? Like, you got a number I could call for you? Like, I can help set this up." Like, we gotta look out for each other at the end of the day on this too, because whoever's in your circle, I'm sure that they would hate to lose you to this. So, gotta have those honest conversations and look out for each other. And then also too, your community. Um, we don't have to shoulder everything alone. Amen. And I'm just not preaching to you like I'm preaching to myself. And I keep getting reminded that I don't have to carry everything by myself. I don't have to do everything by myself. I can reach out and ask for help. And whatever that help looks like I'm grateful for it. And I have to be grateful for it because there are literally women out here who have no community, have no safe space, absolutely no one they can turn to. So, I'm grateful and thankful for the people in my life that love me enough, to want to help me if I ever needed it. And I definitely need to do a better job reaching out when I do need help or I feel overwhelmed. So that way I can take some of that weight off. So your circle, your community is going to be really important when it comes to protecting your heart and making sure your heart is safe from the stress and the emotional stress that all goes into it. And one last thing that I want to touch on before I end the episode, we talked a little bit about our weight, like our weight gain, and then also high blood pressure, hypertension, which I know a lot of us struggle with. That's me. I'm a hypertension baddie. I got high blood pressure, low iron. So I'm working with the highs and the lows, amen. But I'm doing what I have to do to make sure it's under control. Like I'm watching what I eat. Like I'm even watching like what I consume, like with my eyes and like visually, because I don't want to watch stuff all the time that stresses me out, that raises my blood pressure. Like I watch how much news I consume in a day because there's a lot of things going on in the world that have you down and stuck and depressed and get you worried and get you in a tizzy. So I watch that too, and I'm conscious of that too. And then with my weight, like I've been a larger size for the majority of my adult life, and I'm trying to get that together. I'm trying to work on that so that way, again, I am here for a good time and a long time. Amen. What are we talking about? So, um, but yeah, I just wanted to touch on those two things because if that's something that you're struggling with and you want to get better with it, then talk to your doctor because there's so many ways, like, and also two holistic ways that you can manage your weight, manage your blood pressure, all that stuff, and they can work in tandem together with modern medicine and things like that. So if nothing else from this episode, mamas, I hope that this encourages you to protect your heart. Do what you need to do to make sure your heart health is okay. Make sure you're okay. And the ones that you love, like, are okay too. So you may not be struggling with this or have any issues with this, but you may know someone that does. And hopefully this information that I've given you today is a help and you can spread the word to help somebody else. Amen. So, mamas, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and land the plane here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And also, too, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's been running up my story time, our Journey with Autism episode. Y'all are amazing. So many people are getting this information, these facts on autism, and just it's amazing to see the support on that episode. I think like in one day, like it had like 50 streams and downloads. I was like, what? So Thank you. There's going to be another episode coming out in the month of April for Autism Awareness / Acceptance Month, where I'm going to be busting some myths up about autism and some common misconceptions. So please make sure you stay tuned for that, because the more we know, the more we can spread awareness about the disorder. So thank you guys so much for the love and support on every single episode. I truly appreciate it. If you found this episode helpful, please do not forget to share it with another mama who you think will find it helpful, or just anyone. Spread the word. Amen. Spread it to anyone. Also, too, if you're not already, please follow me on Instagram at motherhood_is ghetto. You can keep up with me and the kids there. You can watch episode clips there. You can catch some other podcasts that I've been on, some different interviews I've been on. You can also DM me there. Amen. You can DM me if you have any questions about motherhood, if you have any questions for me specifically about being a single mom, widow life, raising kids, raising preteens, raising a child with autism. If you just want to chop it up about anything and everything, my DMs are open. And also, too, don't forget to follow the shows. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please hit that follow button for me. And then if you're also watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe. Trying to get my subscribers up over there. Amen. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be successful on all platforms. Amen. But I truly appreciate you mamas for tuning in today. Thank you. And until next time, mamas. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Don't forget to follow the podcast and share with anyone who you think may enjoy it. And follow me on Instagram at motherhood_is ghetto. Also, feel free to DM me if you have any experiences, opinions, or views on motherhood you'd like me to share on the podcast. Until next time, mamas.